My son's fiancée mocked me in Chinese at dinner. Her smile vanished when I responded. I never imagined I would feel small in my own home. Yet there I was, standing in my kitchen, nervously smoothing the wrinkles from my old cotton dress while my hands trembled. The smell of soy sauce and ginger filled the air as I stirred the soup on the stove. My son Daniel was bringing his fiancée over for dinner for the first time. Her name was Lily. Daniel had spoken about her for months, how smart she was, how ambitious, how she worked at an international firm and spoke 3 languages. I was proud of him, and I wanted to make a good impression. I wasn't rich. I wasn't stylish. I wasn't sophisticated. I was just a widow who worked part-time at a public library and lived in a modest apartment. But I knew one thing. I knew how to cook. So I spent all afternoon preparing dishes I hoped she'd like: dumplings, sweet and sour chicken, stir-fried vegetables, and jasmine rice. I even looked up online how to arrange the plates nicely. When the doorbell rang, my heart skipped. Daniel entered first. Then Lily stepped in. She was beautiful, tall, elegant, wearing a cream-colored coat that probably cost more than my entire monthly grocery bill. Her hair was perfect, her lipstick flawless. She smiled at me, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Mom, this is Lily," Daniel said. "Nice to meet you," I said warmly. "Welcome to my home." Lily looked around my small living room, the faded couch, the old bookshelf, the family photos on the wall. She nodded politely, but I caught the slight curl of her lip. Dinner started quietly. I served the food, Daniel complimented the dishes. Lily poked at the dumplings with her chopsticks like they were suspicious objects. "Is this homemade?" she asked. "Yes," I said. "I made everything today." She smiled thinly. "That's impressive." Something in her tone felt off. As we ate, Lily and Daniel began speaking in Chinese. I didn't understand most of it, but I noticed Lily glancing at me, then whispering something, and then giggling. Daniel laughed awkwardly. My stomach tightened. Then she said something longer in Chinese. She didn't lower her voice. Daniel's smile faded a little. "Lily," he said. She waved him off. More Chinese. More giggling. I didn't know the language, or at least she thought I didn't. But I caught one word clearly. Chinese letter. Pour. Then another. Chinese letter. Backward. And another. Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter. She's not worthy to be my mother-in-law. My fingers clenched around my chopsticks. I had studied Mandarin when I was young. My late husband had worked in Shanghai for several years. I learned the language so I could visit him and communicate with his colleagues. I wasn't fluent, but I understood enough. Enough to know Lily was mocking me. She was laughing about my house, my food, my clothes, my life. Daniel looked uncomfortable but said nothing. That hurt more than her words. Then Lily said, still in Chinese, "Look at her clothes, she looks like a village woman." She laughed. And that's when I put my chopsticks down. The table went silent. I looked directly at Lily. And in perfect, calm Mandarin I said, Chinese letter, 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 Chinese letter. You know what? The truly poor are not those who live in small houses, but those who have no manners. Her chopsticks froze in midair. Her face drained of color. Daniel's mouth fell open. I continued, still in Chinese. Chinese letter, 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 Chinese letter. Mocking your host in a language you think she doesn't understand is extremely rude. Lily stared at me as if I had slapped her. I didn't know you spoke Chinese," she stammered. I smiled gently. "I didn't know you were cruel," I replied, this time in English. Silence filled the room. Daniel cleared his throat. Lily, did you really say those things? She looked away. I was just joking. About my mother being poor, he asked. I didn't mean it like that. I stood up and began clearing the plates. Lily, I said quietly, in this house we don't joke by humiliating others. Her face burned red. I am sorry, she muttered. But the apology sounded forced. The rest of the dinner was stiff and awkward. They left early. That night Daniel called me. Mom, I didn't know she said those things. I know, I replied softly, you didn't want to make things uncomfortable. He was silent. Days passed. Then weeks. Daniel visited me alone more often. He looked troubled. She's always like that, he admitted one evening. She criticizes waiters, she makes fun of people behind their backs. I just ignored it. I sighed. Love shouldn't make you blind to character. 1 month later, Daniel told me he had postponed the wedding. She apologized, he said, but something changed for me that night. 3 months later, he broke up with her. Not because of me, but because he finally saw her for who she was. Meanwhile, Lily's life took an unexpected turn. She had bragged at dinner about a promotion she was about to get. But weeks later, her company let her go. Her manager had overheard her insulting a client in Mandarin, assuming he wouldn't understand. He did. Just like I did. And Karma spoke fluently. Months later, Daniel brought a different woman home. Her name was May. She bowed slightly when she met me. Thank you for inviting me, she said. Your home is very warm. She helped me in the kitchen. She laughed with me at the table. She complimented my food and meant it. She spoke Mandarin too, but never once used it to hurt. One evening she said softly, Daniel told me what happened before. I smiled. It taught him something. And you, she said, taught her something too. Now, when I sit at my dining table, I remember Lily's frozen face when she realized her secret language wasn't secret at all. And I think about how funny life is. Because sometimes, people reveal their true selves when they think you can't understand them. And sometimes, the quietest person in the room is the one who understands everything.